ladies and gents. So today we are going to try to find hopefully a new turkey choke, because right now all I have in my turkey setup is an extra full, and I'd love to have an actual turkey choke in it. And then I'm going to try to find as many different kinds of turkey load that I can. Buy them 12 gauge, either 2 3/4 or 3 inch, whatever they have. I don't really care. I've always killed turkey with 2 3/4 anyway, or the one I did kill. I'll say, well, always, but I've always hunted with 2 3/4. But if they have some 3 inch, I'll get some 3 inch, get some targets, and we are just going to pattern my shotgun and see what ends up being the best out of it, what it ends up liking, and we might shoot a little further. I don't know. Probably 20 to 40 is about a normal shot, so we really probably won't stretch it out since this is just more of a testing video. So yeah, we're getting ready to pull up to the local Walmart. We're going to stop there because I know they had shells a couple days ago. Hopefully they still do, so I'll grab a couple boxes there, and then we will head over to the local gun shop, try to get a turkey choke, and try to get some more shells if they have them as well. Target holder, a target, and some new ear covers, earmuff, whatever they're called. My brain's not working today. I was able to get some Remington Magnum turkey 3 inch 5-shot and Magnum turkey, was it 4 or 6-shot? Hold on, I think it was 4. Yeah, 4, which is normally what I like to run, is a 4-shot size. It just seems to shoot good out of most of our guns. I haven't really ever patterned this gun, so this is gonna be the first time. And then I got some Winchester Super X 2 3/4 4-shot, which is what I do believe I killed my first turkey with, at about 40 yards. So yeah, now we're gonna head over to the gun store, the gun shop, our local one, and see what they have. They might have a bunch, they might have none. We're getting pretty close to turkey season, so yeah, we'll head over there and see what we can find. Well, what I've learned today is I need a cheaper hobby. I ended up getting a Carlson. I've always heard good things about their turkey chokes. I got a box of 3 inch. This is what I shot, except it was in the 4-shot. They didn't have any. It was the Winchester Super X turkey load. And then I got 3 inch Winchester Double X. And what I've shot out of quite a few guns, and has always done good, is the Federal Grand Slams. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 different kinds to try. I have 12 targets, so we can test it at 20 and 40 today, which will be sweet. So yeah, we'll head over to one of the properties. I'll get a target set up and we'll go from there. Next time you see me, I'll be on the big camera with a shotgun in my hand. All right, so we just got down to the range. Got my Remington 1187 New Carlson .640 turkey choke, and we are going to go ahead and start with the Remington Turkey Magnum 5-shot. I got a target set up at about 20 yards. I'll zoom in on it and try not to blow your all's eardrums out. All right, first shot, 20 yards, Remington 1187 Remington Magnum turkey load, 3 inch. Here we go. Woo! Oh! Oh! Woo! Yeah. Today is gonna hurt. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh, let me run down and grab that and we'll take a look at it. So, the 5s hold a pretty good group, but we're shooting to the right. So, we'll go ahead and we're going to try out the Remington Turkey Mag 4-shot. Man, that stuff has some whammy to it.
Yeah, I've been using those new whammy shells. They scatter less for when you really want to blow a hole in something.
Alright. Man, these are 3-inch too. Second shot is going to be at the 4-shot Remington Turkey Magnums. Alright. Remington 4-shot Turkey Magnums. Oh man. Oh buddy. Yeah. Alright. Wow. Whose idea was this? Alright, I'm gonna go down, grab that, see how it does. Hopefully our little target holder survives. Alright, so the second group, as you can see, instead of just being right, we're also trending high. I don't mind trending high at 20 yards. But it's the right that's scaring me, because this is mostly where it looks like we're going is about here. So, you know, you say you aim for a turkey's neck, your head's right about here. I mean, you're going to kill them. I aim for the base of the neck, so let's say that's the base of the neck. Most likely going to kill them, but I would like to see a little bit more centered group. So we'll go on to the next shell. Alright, next shell, Winchester 3-inch 5-shot turkey load. I'm such a wimp. I always shot 2 3/4. My shoulder's going to be sore by the end of the day. Doggone! Oh, yeah, I gotta remember not to miss. Because if I miss, my day's gonna be rough. I'm gonna go down, grab that one, see what we got now. Now, this, I don't know how well you can hear me. This is what I want to see, honestly. A little high, but a good group of pellets right there would be about the bottom of the neck. And then we got a good spread. Now this is 20 yards. We're still hitting pretty good, pretty wide spread in there, which is good. I'm not looking for, you know, super tight. We all make errors as hunters. So if I have this little bit of give right now, I'm going to be shooting the Super X's 5 shots compared to the Remingtons. But let me go set up another target. I am slowly demolishing this target holder. It's only got 2 of the clips left, and one of them is slightly broken. So we'll see if it makes it through all this. But I'm going to go ahead. That was the third one. I think we got 3 more. One more 3-inch shell, which is the Winchester Double X, and then we're going to have Federal Grand Slams and Winchester Super X, just normal 2 3/4 load. Actually, no, I can't shoot those. They don't have enough recoil. Forgot about that. I cannot. this gun will not shoot normal like 5 or 4 shot. You have to have a heavier load in it, or else it will not cycle the bolt and it'll get jammed. So we will not be shooting those. So we're actually testing 5 ammos today. And whichever one of these shoots the best, I'm gonna take it out to 40 and see how it does at 40. All right, next shell will be Winchester XX 3-inch 5-shot. Hold her tight, boy. Oh yeah. Oh my goodness. Oh. Y'all see that dirt? It is destroyed. Oh my good gracious. Yeah, wow. Alright, let's go grab it. So, I'm basing this off of where I like to aim. If I was somebody that liked to aim for the head, I would definitely be running this. I mean, look at that. That is a super tight pattern, pretty centered, I won't lie. But I was always taught to aim for the base of the neck. So I do not want a shell that is going to shoot low. And that's just personal. If you want your 1187 for you to be able to aim at the head and not really have to worry, at least from what this is doing, like I said, Carlson 640 choke, that is amazing. That is an amazing pattern. I really like that, just not for me. I still have to go with the Super X turkey loads, just based off of, like I said, where I aim. If I was saying this was the head, I'd have no problem with that group at all. I'd actually be very happy with that group, honestly, and I really wouldn't worry about it. But because I aim the bottom of the neck, I don't want a lot of pellets into the meat. So, not for me, but that is awesome, honestly. Really impressed. Alright, 5th and final load will be the Federal Grand Slams, what I've normally shot. 5 to 7.5, 2 3/4. So this is what I've always loaded into this gun. I've never patterned it. I know that's terrible to say, but I guess we will go ahead and pattern it now and see how it does at 20. And like I said, whatever does the best, I'm going to move my target out to 40 and see how it does at that range. Woo! So, I want to point one thing out. One thing I just noticed. And this also, you know, it's kind of a given. Less recoil, but it looked like it tore up the ground just as much down there. So, that's why I've always liked the Grand Slams too. Follow-up shots would be a whole lot easier with that. So, I'm going to run down, grab the target, and take a look, see how it did. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we're going to have a shoot-off for 40 yards. That is an amazing, amazing group. Right there in the top. That matches up with the Winchester super well. Hold on. So here we have the Winchester again. Nice and not as tight. That gives me a little more room for error. And then we have the 2 3/4 Grand Slams. So we're actually going to do a shoot off at 40. I was not expecting that, so I'll probably have to move my camera. Holy cow, I just realized that one shell flew like 10 foot. That is nuts. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to move my camera. And we're going to do a shoot off between the two, because these are both really good groups. So now I just want to see which one holds up further. Alright, first up for 40 yards in the 1v1 shoot off. It's the Winchester Super X 3-inch 5-shot turkey load. Can't even tell on the camera. But that did not hit with the oomph that it did at 20, which is to be expected. Alright, run down there, grab that, and see what we got. There's no way I would shoot at a turkey with that at 40 yards. I'm nowhere close to center line. I'm all over. So we're gonna have to try the Federals. Hopefully they do better. All right, Federal Grand Slam 2 3/4 inch, 40 yards. Now that, at least to the eyes, looks slightly more promising. There I think I can actually see a few hits around the center. Well, I'll lie to you. Target was sitting like this. It's a slightly better, very slight. I mean, at that point, I guess I would be aiming more for the head. But it almost looks like more of them went high than they did low, so I don't know. But, yeah. So I think what I've come up with is I'm going to be running Federal Grand Slam 2 3/4. When we get back to the house, I'll show you all these targets side by side, and we'll kind of go over them. Alright guys, so I'm home now. Had a little hat switch. Lost my other one, so that's a little weird. But now we're gonna do a quick breakdown, how I'm feeling after shooting, and why I came to the conclusion I did, pretty much. And I don't want this video to be taken as, you know, I'm talking down on the loads that did not shoot well out of my gun, because they may shoot perfectly fine in someone else's. They may shoot amazing in someone else's gun. Also, I do want to comment, if the video doesn't look the best right now, I need to get more lighting in this room, but we got what we got. So the first combination I shot, or the first one I shot, I believe, was the Remington Premier Magnum turkeys, 12 gauge, 3-inch, 1 3/4 ounce shot, 4-shot was the first I shot, I believe. High velocity, 1,300 feet per second, which seems to be the sweet spot in turkey loads. And this actually might have been the second one I shot, but I marked all the papers before I left down there. I do believe I mismarked 2 of them and got them backwards. But if it is, I'll put it in editing that I swapped them to what I think they are. If I'm wrong and they actually were what they were supposed to be. I'll put it in editing that I was wrong. But so this was the first group or second group. I just can't remember what order I shot everything in. So my only issue I'm taking with this shot pattern is it's off to the right. If it wasn't for that, honestly, the Remington Magnums would have won. I'm thinking about going out and reshooting these off of a rest and just double checking that it wasn't me. Because if it wasn't, the Remington Magnums definitely had the best group. This is definitely the best overall pattern, I think, in terms of just how tight it is. But accurate to where I was shooting, it wasn't. And I didn't have that problem with any of the other shells. So I'm not so much thinking it's me. Like I said, it could have been. But awesome pattern out of it. I really can't complain about the pattern itself. But yeah, it's just off to the right. I don't want my pattern off to the right. No one wants their pattern off to the side. Next one I shot, because different shot sizes perform different, obviously, is the Premier Magnum Turkey 3-inch, 12 gauge, 1 3/4, 5-shot. And so this is why I'm saying it wasn't me, because both of the Remington Magnum shells shot to the right. That's why I don't think it was me. Once again, if I go and shoot these and it was me and this pattern transfers over to here, I would easily run the Remingtons. No ifs, ands, buts about it. But it just took out that right side. If this pattern right here was swapped over to the middle, I would have no issue running I would prefer to run the Remingtons, because they would have shot probably the best overall pattern, I think, in my opinion. Which is kind of crazy. So, which it really isn't, because I am shooting a Remington 1187 NWTF 25th anniversary, specifically built for turkey hunting. Shorter barrel. You would think it'd like Remington ammunition, but at least mine seems to prefer otherwise. Like I said, not saying Remington ammunition is bad. I know they've had issues with their rifle cartridges the past few years when they sold, but that's neither here nor there. We're not talking about that. We're talking about turkey loads. Third ones I shot was, I believe, this is where I'm getting swapped around too, was the Winchester XX. This was either the third or fourth one I shot. I'm doing it in order of how I have the targets laying back there. So the Winchester XX, 3-inch, 1300 velocity again, 1 3/4 ounce again, 5-shot. These are copper-plated lead shot. Grex buffering reduces setback, blah, 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 whatever they came up with. And yeah, so these shot a really good group as well. Really nice pattern, but it's all down here. So when I'm aiming here, I'm thinking of that as, I'll put in a picture, the bottom of a turkey's neck is where I was always taught to aim. So I'm thinking of that as the bottom of the turkey's neck. Well, if I aim right there for the bottom of the turkey's neck, I'm going to have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 pellets that get into the head and neck area, which not to say isn't enough to kill him, but that's not what I want. I want my pattern in that neck area, and I want to try to rip that turkey's head off. That's the most humane way I can do it. So if I'm shooting groups like this, once again, could I have held low? Yeah, I could have, but I don't think it was an issue of me holding low, just because of all the other shots are either, right in the middle or they're high. So, like I said, might go back and do this again if you all would really like to. I can put it in a lead sled and we can shoot them that way and see what the difference is. So, that was the Winchester XX. Once again, great patterns. This gun is patterning great with just about anything you throw into it. And I've always loved that gun. I bought it from my dad this past year, and do not regret it. I've always wanted that gun since I was a little kid. So this was either, like I said, third or fourth, don't remember. It all kind of ran together because those shells were kicking. The Winchester Super X 3-inch 5-shot. These are actually 1210 velocity, 1 7/8 ounces. So this gun may just like a slower velocity. Maybe a little. These would be heavier, right? 1 3/4, 1 yeah, a little bit heavier, a little bit slower shot. Maybe what this gun prefers. And I believe, like I said, the 4-shot of these is what I killed that Jake right there with. That's my one and only turkey. Killed it 9 years ago. This season will be 9 years since I killed that one. My dad did everything he could with me. I'm a slow learner. So sometimes it takes me a few years, just like with bow hunting. But I will say, so we have 2 targets for these. This is it was like this. So, because I remember how it was. This is the 20-yard grouping. This is what I want to see. All that right there. I don't care that I don't have any in the bullseye. The fact that it's right here within the width of a turkey's neck, I have, let's just say 20 plus in it. That's what I want to see at 20 yards. It would be great if they were more tight-knit, but that is perfect. That is absolutely perfect for me. I love the way that this patterned. And like I said, you know, some guns, my grandfather's Model 12, it loves the 4-shot. It'll pattern better than this with a modified choke, you know, a built-in modified. The old Winchester Model 12s, the barrels were already made into whatever choke, so it's not adjustable. His Model 12, I guarantee, will shoot a tighter group than that, even. And I'm not saying this is a bad group by any means. That's just how, when you find the right shell, I believe your gun can do it. Because it was with that Model 12 and the 4s in the Winchester Super X, I shot one at 40 yards and dropped him. I mean, there was no ifs, ands, buts, pellets all through his neck, his head. It shot all through his neck and head. Just amazing performance. Here's where I'm seeing the number 5s lack severely. And this says Grand Slam at the bottom, but I'm almost positive that when I look back at the video, I'll realize this is, in fact, the Super X's. So if I'm right on that, I'll just put, yes, this is the 40-yard blah, blah, blah for Winchester Super X. I'll put it up in the corner. So, very spread out group. Let's say this is bottom of the neck. You know, would you still aim bottom of the neck at 40 yards? Well, if I did, let's just say I did, because that's what I did when I shot the first one. I'm going to catch, you know, a few up in his noggin. Maybe one in the neck. So, not the best. And I'm really not impressed with either one of their performances at 40, to be quite honest. But either one of my follow-ups, that's why I almost want to go back and do this out of a lead sled and make sure it wasn't me on those other two, because the Remington shot, I feel like they would hold a lot better group at 40. But I could be wrong. So that's the 40-yard group. Like I said, I believe for the Winchester Super X, I'll be able to tell you after editing. Our fifth and final, I know this was the last one I shot, was the Federal Grand Slams. I have shot these out of so many guns, and I've always had them group well. They're 5-shot. You know, they're just good, man. These Grand Slams have shot good out of anything I put them in. I had a Weatherby that loved these. I had the Model 12 liked them. You know, these are going 1,200 feet per second, so even slower than the Super X's. 2 3/4, 1.5 ounce. So these are actually lighter So they are lighter than the Super X's and going slower. Between the 2 3/4 and the 3-inch, which is about 1/4 of an inch, you're looking at about 10 FPS muzzle velocity difference. So not insane, because you're also looking at, what would that be, 3/8 difference in weight, 3/8 of an ounce difference in weight. So this is the Grand Slam at 20 yards, and that is why I will pick it. Look at that. I mean, you can just draw. You can't even count the amount of pellets that are there. I mean, obviously you can, but there's so many, and you still have a good spread. I don't want, how do I explain this to where it makes sense? I don't want all my pellets right here, right? I want a little bit of spread, but I want it, you know, about the size of my hand if I spread it out. That's what I'm looking at for this spread. And that is impressive. That is exactly what I would want. Just over, hold a softball there. You know, if most of the pellets are in the softball, that's what I'm looking for. Of course, you have a few on the outside. It's just a little bit of forgiveness. And now, this, I believe, should be the Grand Slams at 40. Like I said, I'm going to watch the video back. If it's not and I'm wrong, then I will change it. Or I will put a note. You're an idiot. You were wrong. You should have marked them while you're doing it. Fair point. But this group, to me, just looks a little better at 40. Like, it's not great. Don't get me wrong, because if we're looking at the neck, I got about 1, call it 2, 3, 4, 5. You know, 5 pellets in it, which is not great. It's not great. I'll be honest. But if I have to pick between, like I said, I believe this is the TSS. Either way, whatever the better group was at 40 was the TSS. They were fairly close, but I think one just had the edge over the other. So that's what made me lean that way. So I do believe I'm going to be running Federal Grand Slams. Why do I keep saying TSS? It's been a long day. It's been a long week, guys. Sorry. The Federal Grand Slams will be what I'm running come opening day, unless I go and do some lead sled shooting with it and find out that I did mess up. Then I will happily come back on here and say, hey, I was an idiot. I should have shot off a rest in the first place. But I also like to see, when patterning a gun, you know, I don't sit down, but I shoot offhand, just because most of the time, from what I've seen when turkey hunting and when I've, you know, went myself, when I've thought I was going to get a shot, I've been offhand. So I'm almost also looking for the human error to see if it saved me. That's not what's planned, but that's something you get to see from it. But yeah, I think that's about it. I don't want to get too in depth with my gun and show it off really until we go to do the turkey setup video. I think week after next is when we're planning that. Maybe? I can't remember. But, yeah, I don't really want to show it off until we go to do our turkey setups, because then you'll see our guns, our vest, our calls, everything all at once, and it'll just be repetitive if I show it off in 2 videos. But yeah, I think that's going to be about it for me. Federal Grand Slam seemed to shoot the best. May go back and do some bench rest shooting. If you all would like to see that, please let me know down in the comments. I will happily go record that. And yeah, I believe that's about it. We'll see y'all.